If you prevent other souls from feeling their hurt, their own pain, you prevent them from evolving, from growing, from learning, from their ascension. You are not here to cushion or protect others from feeling their own feelings. I was teaching meditation class today, and out of nowhere, this happens when I'm teaching, very clear visions. You know, I'm clairvoyant, so I'm clairsentient, clairvoyant, claircognizant. So I get these feelings, these visions, these understandings. And they help me explain the lesson at hand. And I was talking to one of my dear clients, and I was wanting to explain that he was, out of empathy and love, trying to protect his loved ones from falling. He was trying to swoop under and cushion their blow. But the truth is, when we fall, when we lose our balance, it's an opportunity for us to find rebalance. It's an opportunity to create and expand our power again by coming back into alignment. And when we lovingly shine the light on others if they're falling, and we hold a space for them, we actually give them a gift by allowing them to learn from their own experiences, by allowing them to access and to actually feel their own hurt or pain or anger or whatever those feelings are. And in the meditation class, I was shown this image of someone who is out there mowing his neighbor's lawns, you know, cutting the grass, pruning their plants, trimming their trees, sweeping their yard. And he has all his neighbors' gardens beautiful. And they're all manicured and cleared and clean. And he put out the neighbors' rubbish and bins and everything. And then he goes back to his own garden, and his own garden is a mess. His own garden is overgrown, and it's full of weeds, or it's full of dog poo, and the bins are not properly put out, and there's flies and everything. And he's now too tired to tend to his own garden. He's just exhausted. He's looking at his garden going, oh, why was I so busy in other people's business? You know, helping everybody else, when actually I needed to be in my own garden, tending to my own flowers, my own trees, looking after my own rubbish. And some of us fall into this pattern, especially when we're teachers, empaths, shamans, healers, you know, counselors, carers. We will often busy ourselves in other people's stuff. And it's very important that we, first of all, before our neighbour says, hey, can you come and put out my bins, please? You always put my bins out. Can you cut my grass for me? There's some work I need you to do here for me. It's important that we first tend and look to our own garden and maybe say, no, I need to look after my own garden, and you should do the same. Because when you look after your own garden, you learn skills, you get exercise, you understand yourself better. You know what's for the bin, what you need to let go of, and what you need to keep. Maybe you'll sow new seeds and plant new plants and have new flowers grow. So when you're tending to somebody else's garden and neglecting your own, you're actually denying that person the gift of planting their own seeds, of learning all those skills and all those ideas and understandings about themselves. And that's a gift. That is actually a spiritual gift. Because when you love somebody enough that you believe in their true power, you don't need to swoop in and catch their fall, because you know that they can do it themselves. You believe in them enough that they can, if they fall down like a toddler, like a child, like a baby learning to walk, if they fall down as they learn to walk, you don't, fall apart, and when they start crying and they're very upset when they fall, right? You, as the adult, as the more evolved human being, you laugh and you make light of their fall, because you know it's not the end of the world. You know that, the discomfort of the fall is part of learning to walk. And you would never deny them the gift of walking. You would never deny them the gift of being powerful. And in order to facilitate them being empowered, it's your job to stand back and to clap for them, support them, shine love upon them. Maybe when they fall, give them a hug, give them a kiss, remind them that they are an empowered being and that everything's all right. That's fine. I'm not saying don't love other people. But we seem to, as a species, some of us, have gotten true love, unconditional, absolute, empowering love, mixed up with being the martyr, the savior-victim connection. Savior complex attracting a victim complex, which creates a codependent relationship, which then gets into this really dysfunctional, toxic pattern and exchange of energy. And that's not love. Love is, there's an interdependence in love, not codependence. And there's a big distinction there. I grew up in a world where I was born with this incredible empathy. I could feel people's feelings immediately. I knew what people were deep down their hearts going through, what they were emoting, and I understood the dynamics around it, even as a very young child. And I felt that it was my responsibility to relieve them of that pain, to do whatever I could to help them ease that pain, to help them understand themselves better, to give them a sense of empowerment by seeing everything clearly, seeing their dynamics. But in doing so, and having those natural empathic tendencies, being a natural healer, I went too far into the giving, in that then I felt it was this heavy responsibility of making sure that my loved ones and everyone around me was happy, and that I was facilitating all the time their clearest path to happiness. And as high sensitives, as super sensitives, we all have a tendency to do this, and it's not coming from a good place, because if you really peel back the layers of that, there's a belief of not trusting that the other person can stand on their own 2 feet and that they are an empowered being, that they are a connected soul to source. And, you know, it's also exhausting carrying other people's stuff that in reality, it's not yours to carry. You're not here to make other people happy. You're not here to entertain other people and protect other people from themselves. And the truth is, you can't. You can only protect someone from themselves for so long before that illusion wears off, and then they actually have to come back to the self and they have to sit with the self. Because ultimately, that is the road each and every one of us is going down. And that's the ultimate truth. We are all coming back to the truth. We are all coming back to the one source prime creator of all that is. And the only way back to that is the truth and is through the self. So those around you might be taking the long road. They might be going, you know, on detours towards that truth. But that's not your business. Don't make other people's soul business your soul business. It usually ends in drama and in cross wires, and a lot of high sensitives end up being really resentful and bitter and angry that when they got home to their own garden, there was no work done. The grass was this high or this high. And you were just too tired by the time you got back to your own garden because you've done like 20 gardens all along the street. And they're all delighted and happy sitting on the porch sipping their tea. But you're just absolutely burnt out and exhausted and run ragged. And then there's no value. There's no value on that because deep down, the two souls involved know that one is actually doing the work and carrying the load for the other. And they also know that this is a short-term solution and that it can only go on for so long. So it is a gift to hand back people's pain. And it was actually a very recent message I got from a dear friend, you know who you are, who reminded me of this a few days ago. And she was saying about certain family members and people I know, and she was saying, you really blossomed into your womanhood, and now you're able to say, actually, this is your stuff. This is your pain. So the old patterns of people expecting me to absorb their pain for them, I'm not doing that anymore. And I haven't been doing it for some time. And people from the past who expect that little girl who felt responsible for carrying the happiness of the people she loved around her, they expect that little girl to show up. And then I show up. This woman who honors her and values her energy, her soul, her time. And it's really interesting to see the reaction to that. And often the reaction is it's a rough reaction. It's confusion, it's anger, you know, because some people will always expect or want other people to shoulder or to absorb, because empaths can be quite the sponge, to absorb their pain, the things that they need to look at within themselves. So I invite you now, this is a really good time to do this, and this is all timely. These videos are all timely, and you'll see that. You can click on any of my videos and you will find it relates to you, because I only record when Spirit tells me to, and I never have a plan. Spirit will be like, just put the camera on. It's often when I've just come in from work I've had a cup of tea, and I've had a moment to just meditate and reflect. And I really feel there's a strong theme of this right now. Having to learn to come back to ourselves and to tend to our own gardens and to stop distracting ourselves with other people's pain. But even more than that, by recognizing it's not even that you're like, well, I'm going to put myself first. It's deeper than that. It's like my friend's message said, it's actually a gift. They may not recognize it as a gift because like they want to be carried. They want to be able to project their stuff on you. But by you saying, oh, no, this is yours. This is your stuff, honey. This is not mine. This doesn't belong to me. You know, you can't carry and you shouldn't carry what does not belong to you. Because then you're living in lies. You're living in a mistruth. So by handing stuff back, you're actually being honest and you're being truthful and you're giving them the chance to figure it out and empower themselves. Just like the baby, just like the toddler learning to walk. If we kept catching the toddler and we tried to protect them from having any fall, and we were like, oh, don't worry, honey, you don't have to walk. You don't have to learn to walk. I'll just carry you all the time. I'll just carry you. Like, I will make a little pouch for you, or I will give you a jockey back or a piggyback, and I will take care of everything. You are disempowering. You are absolutely thieving that child of their chance to blossom and grow into the full, walking, talking, empowered human being soul that they're meant to be. And it's the very same with spiritual matters. It's the very same with our friendships, with our family members, and with the people we love. With our colleagues, with our clients, you know. Wires can get crossed, especially when money's involved, because people can feel, well, I'm being paid for this, so I have to carry that for that person. That is going to make you a weak healer. It's going to make you a weak shaman. Your role is not to carry. Your role is to educate, empower, and to assist and support. And there's a big difference. So this is a really powerful message. I would love if you'd give this video a thumbs up. Please. I want to attract more people to my channel. So please like my videos when you like them. Subscribe for more. And then every time I put up a video, you'll know, so you have to hit the notification button for that. And visit my website at www.avinedoyle.com. It's in the link below. I really hope that you understand and integrate the lesson, the theme of the message I have for you today. Remember, other people's pain is part of their life, it's part of their journey, and you can love them and you can give them a hug and you can listen and you can be a good friend and you can be a good lover. But you can't buffer, you can't be the buffer for them sitting with their truth. Namaste.